Welcome back to Staring from Mysterian Gaming. Today, we're running the dungeon known as the Violet Hold. This is actually located in Dalaran City, in the Crystal Song Forest, Dalaran, which is in Northrend. As you can see, there are going to be six waves. Well, it's going to be a total of 18 weeks, but every 6th wave will be one of these bosses get released. Now you see there's little highlighted items here. Those are to activate if you get into trouble.
I don't have a target.
But we're not going to activate them because there's action and achievement if you don't use them. But there is another one back then that we would have to use them if we got the boss that was inside here. Now you can actually skin the mobs here you kill. Now, as you can see on the 6th portal, this little mob can't be attacked, but it will unleash one of the bosses. Now, as I said,
I am fury unrestrained!
This boss would actually have to use this, because once the boss splits into smaller elementals, the achievement was not to let a single one get back to the main body.
Water can hold any form, take any shape, overcome any obstacle. Sweet sea, decimate, devastate and destroy. Yield now to the wrath of the pounding sea.
Now you get about a 30-second to a minute breather for the next portal decides to spawn. So it gives you time to get your mana back, rebuff, and such.
I need a target. I need to target something first.
Now, as you can see, here's the next saboteur, who's going to unleash Morag. Pretty much standard of an observer demon, just debuffs and such. You just gotta keep your heals up and you're good to go on this guy. And now again you get a small little breather for the next wave shows up. This will be the final wave, the last 6 portals. You won't have to worry about any more bosses coming out of the prison. It'll be one that comes in themselves. Now as you get further inside the portals here, since you're on the last wave, the mobs are going to be a bit tougher, and the ones that spawn multiple adds will have an additional one with them. Now you see, they actually split up. The goal is not to let them get anywhere near the door.
A valiant defense, but this city must be razed. I will fulfill Malagos's wishes myself. We finish this now, champion Hakirin. We have underestimated you.
El Sindragosa here. So basic blue dragon flight. Frost damage, don't stand behind the tail, and just keep the heals up. Other than that, that's Violet Hold, but I'm going to show you. Here's one of the other bosses that you can get, is a Core Hound. Which if you fought them in Mon Core, you pretty much know their fire damage and they can do a fear. As you see, here's a Void Lord. This one's a bit special. He can summon up invisible adds that you'll have to get a debuff, I believe it is, to see them and DPS them down. But for him, we just fight him inside here and just try to burn him down fast. It's the best strategy in my opinion. As you see, here's one of the Tech Yord. Erkin. He has 2 adds with him. You burn them down and just make sure he doesn't get any of his casts off that you can interrupt. And here's an Ethereal. I believe he just does arcane damage, more or less as a... Basically, you're fighting like an arcane mage if I remember right. Other than that, those are the other bosses. Now, as for this crystal I was talking about, we're going to let you see what the effects are. This is really helpful if by off chance one of the spawns from the portal, like these multi-group ones, are getting a little too much for you, activate this and you almost will instantly kill them, if not heavily damage the group. On bosses, it's less effective. The only boss I would advise using it for would have been this one right here, when she decides to split into smaller elementals. That way you don't have to try to burn them down and they'll all die thanks to what happens once we activate this. Seems because I cleared the dungeon, it doesn't happen. But what would happen is a ton of purple lightning would shoot down and destroy everything. But you only have a limited number of these that you can actually use. So if you want to use them, you need to use them sparingly. Nowadays, people use them just to try to speed up the instance, more or less. Usually on the last 6 portals is when they're used, because they can just burn themselves fast to the last boss. Well, that was been the Violet Hold. This is Mysterium from Mysterium Gaming asking you to please like and subscribe to my videos. I will see you guys in the next one.